Then join. We'll see. Okay, so yesterday we were discussing about test designing section. Okay, in test designing, we were discussing about writing test cases, test data, and all those things, right? So, as a part of that, yesterday we left one thing, or see, in test designing section, we need to understand where entry criteria is, use cases also is there. So, what is the use case? So, what is the use case actually? So, use case is nothing but it describes the functional requirement prepared by a business analyst. So, use case would be like a uh, pictorial diagram or a image which explains the requirement. So, this use case would be more useful to understand better understanding of the requirement. So so in single line we can say uh, it is a it describes the requirement. Okay, so it contains three elements: actor, action, and outcome. So for example, if you consider login functionality is there, so you take one actor is there. Okay, this is the login functionality, and the output is home page. Okay, so here the actor is person what we are doing, action is the login functionality what we are testing. Okay, and the output is home page, outcome is home page. So this is the these three are the items of the use case what we can say as. So in this way, in pictorial description we describe the requirements, that is called as use case. So whereas in scenarios we write the functionality what to test, and in test case you know how to write, how to test is a thing what we learn, right? So what is the use case? Use case which describes the functional requirement, okay, in a diagrammatic manner or in a flow, picture flow. See, it is not a mandatory it should be in a picture flow, but it is a functional requirement which describes more easily. So then you may get a doubt. What is the difference between use case and test case? We are describing in detail in test case also. So what is the difference between both use case and test case? So here are some of the differences. Okay, I'll explain you. So okay, this image. Okay, so see here, we have use case and test case difference. Okay, the objective of the use case is uh, to get certain output after set of operations. Means like just describing the things. Here we do the entire system, whether system is working or fine or not. So here use case objective is to a particular thing as use case is to a certain output. We work on a certain output, whereas in test case we work on all the things, complete first system. So the definition can be described as like a representation of actions. So we have seen here action, actor, and outcome describes the behavior of the system of a particular task. So uh, we represent a particular task or a particular functionality like login functionality in actions. Okay, here we write the test cases, test data, we write the followed by the instructions. So what would the source of the use case is like based on the requirements. Here based on the use cases we write test cases, and based on the requirements also. Both for writing use cases, what required is requirement documents are required. For writing test cases, what is required is use cases are required, test data and test scripts. What would be the output of the use case then? Okay, the output would be like uh, uh, end results are important for this one, and like steps to be executed. What steps we need to be executed? Those all will be uh, understandable by seeing this use case. Here all steps are important, like, and the business users use this use case, whereas testers uses test cases. Business users means, say, why business users use use cases means, like, what will have here, just it's a requirement explanation will be there, a small piece of requirement would be explained. So that's why business users does not require all the test cases each and every step, right? So once they go through the use case of the description what is mentioned, they will understand what need to be tested, what is the functionality. So that is the main purpose of this use case. So here you can see use case describes the requirement, whereas test scenarios describe the functionality what need to test, and test cases describe how to test in detailed manner. So this is a basic difference between these two, and practically in real time we may not use case term mostly. We may or may not. That depends. But 90, 60, 70% we don't use case term. But test scenario and test case, this is the mandatory thing what we use. Okay, clear about these use cases? Any questions? Okay, so test designing.
Hello.
Yeah,
Can you go back to the previous slide, please?
yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, this is the one. This scenario.
Can you be a bit louder, Deepak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, can we say that use case is from the primarily designed for the business user and test case designed primarily for the testers? I
Uh,
mean, the
yeah. See,
intended audience is different. Is it?
yeah. See, here one point is correct what you have said.
Mhm.
One is test cases are designed primarily and only for testers. Okay. Use
Right.
cases are designed for usage of testers as well as business users.
Oh,
So testers 90% they don't use cases because already they have requirement traceability matrix. Okay, they go
correct.
through that. Already they have requirement documents with them, and already they have test scenarios also. But to make sure if everything is covered, we are not missing anything, they go to use cases. But 90% of the use case purpose is for business primarily. Secondary would be testers.
Right. Thank you.
Good question. Guys, keep asking questions so that even I will also know that you are understanding or where you are. Okay. So now we are good at writing test cases, and everything is done. Okay. So now next what we need to do, test execution, right? So till now what we have done, requirement analysis, we have gone through all the documents, and we have done some planning. We have done the planning, we have prepared the test plan documents, all the test strategy document, everything we have prepared, planning document. And now we have designed the test cases, we have designed the test scenarios, prepared the test data, and now we need to test the application. So where we need to test it? So what would be that platform? The application is getting ready. So where we need to test? So do we have means for automation we need to install Selenium. For API testing we need to install Postman or Dockers for DevOps Dockers, and for all other things REST API. If you need to test that environment would be there. Java need, and uh, and what a web application means. What would be the hardware? What would be the system? configurations required for testing an application. So these all would be there, right? So for that, what we do is fourth step is test environment setup. Okay, in environmental setup, we have a design and architectural documents. Environment setup plan would be there. So here in this environment, these are the entry criteria. What we do is like we understand the requirements of the application. Requirements means not the business requirements. Requirements of the testing application. So for testing an application, what are all required? So we will prepare a requirement list, software requirements, hardware requirements, and we connectivity issues like how much the net bandwidth would be is net required, so how it would work, those all things, and one checklist we will prepare for that. And more importantly, after setting up the hardware and software, we'll do a smoke test in environmental setup only. Okay, one round of smoke test. Which what is the definition of smoke test? What is a smoke test? Can anyone?
It's an ad hoc.
When a build is ready, we'll go for a smoke test to test that whether it can be application can be tested further.
Okay, next, Deepak.
Basically perform to check the stability of the application.
Good. Next.
Yeah, just to make sure that the application is working, we provide all the valid inputs.
Yes. So all three have set correct in different manners. So whether the application is stable and testable. Jaya, you have used stable. Mohan, you have said testable. Yeah, both. You use both the words, it would be more better. Okay. So we do smoke test, and in the smoke test, if we find that application is good, we'll report, we'll accept the build or else we'll reject the build, and test data we'll prepare. So after this, all activities have been done. So basically, there is one more point which we need to understand here in test environment. There is a term called test bed. Let me show you that where it is, the document. Yeah, test environment. Yeah. So test environment. So in test environment, setting up the right environment to ensure software testing is success. So here we'll set up the environment. So in interview, there will be a question on test bed. What is a test bed? Okay. It is nothing but a software development environment. Okay, just a simple terminology. It's a development environment. It allows all the developers to test their modules. Okay, test bed is related to developers. Bed is for developers environment. Okay, test bed is a developers environment. But we can say it is not only for developers. Testers are also use this one. It is basically test bed is meant. It is basically a setup for testing. Okay, and what is test environment then? Environment is setup of a software and hardware for testing team to execute test cases. So test environment is only for testers. Okay, so like basically how they do this test environment, or how what is the difference? Like means like, see, a test environment basically how it will be like, the environment would be set up similar to the production environment. Production environment means how we are using outside. In the same way, the setup would be there for us to test, so that most of the time we'll get the data. Valid data would be there, backend data, backend tables data would be very valid data. They will dump a duplicate, they will prepare a duplicate database originally how it is in production, and they will ask us to test on that, so that we can find out the defects easily. More defects we can find out. Okay, So test bed or test environment is configured as per the need of the application under test. Okay, so this test bed, if they ask in an interview what is a test bed, it is generally a software development environment. Developers do their testing in this their servers is called as test bed, but it is not only confined to developers, testers also can use it. Okay, you need to explain in this manner. Okay, this is a test environment. One more I missed here in designing section. Okay, one thing is in the okay, we'll go there, then I'll explain it there in execution part. Okay, so this is a test environment part. Okay, now here we have test bed is ready, test environment is ready, and we have done the smoke test on our environment, and we found it is working very good. So we what will the exit criteria is environment setup plan checklist. We'll take a checklist and we'll check whether hardware, software, everything is ready, and then test data setup. We'll see. We'll get the report of smoke test successful report would be there, and the deliverables for this is smoke test and environmental setup. Okay. So now test environment is ready. Okay. So we have done the requirements, we have done designing, we have done planning, we have done designing. So environment is ready. Now we need to do test execution. Okay. Here what we do, test execution. Test execution means we have written multiple test cases. We have written this login functionality test cases. We have written for this. Okay, and these all for reset we have written. Now we need to execute. We need to execute, and we need to find out whether the application is working or not. Okay, so for that, this in test execution, the entry criteria should be test plan, test cases, test scripts, what we have written in test designing section, test environment. So test environment is ready. So test data setup, what we have done in test designing section, and unit and integration test report, which developers have been completed their unit testing and that report. See, unit and integration test report would be the entry criteria, but remember one thing, for experienced persons, for if you are going for experienced post, then you should never go through a unit test document. Unit test document is a document prepared by developer. Okay, so so for example, see, we have a requirement to do testing. Okay, we have a requirement to do testing. What is the requirement? Login functionality is there. So what developer have done some testing. So developer has prepared. So documentation is very important. So developer has prepared the document. What he have covered is like he has given valid data, valid and invalid. Okay, and valid, all both user ID and password valid, both and both invalid he has given. For example, consider. So he has prepared document for this. So basic thing means in boundary value analysis, if you think boundary value analysis, what he has done is minimum, maximum. Only in this boundary he has worked. For example, for this, if you need to enter 6 to 12 characters, what he has done is used 6, 12, and that's all. And he has prepared the document. Unit testing is fine. His code is working. So if a tester, if he goes through the unit test document before preparing test cases or before execution, his mindset will be stuck there only. His mindset will be blocked at the unit test document level only, and he cannot think beyond that. Okay, you cannot think beyond that. You cannot think minimum -1, minimum +1, and maximum -1, maximum +1. You cannot think on this part and you cannot do execution. See, I'm explaining only login functionality. So this is fine. You can get, by seeing only you'll understand that what all need to be tested. But when you go very inside deep payment section or like some other important parts in banking section, so if you go for transactions, if you go for detailed statement section, you will very thin layer would be very thin difference would be there between developer and tester there, because developer he do the basic things And when you go through that unit test document, you'll understand that okay, these are we need to do. You will also do the same thing and you'll close it. But there would be many other things which need to be covered. So very basic thing is you should not go through the unit test document. You need to understand that point. Okay. You can go through when you'll go through when their requirements are not very clear and there are some very dependencies are there. Like see, while doing this, the table a table would be written like yes, in login functionality, you should not use certain conditions like small letters should not be used, special characters only, and symbol at the rate symbol should be used. So there are conditions. So this there are some interlinked conditions are there which are not known for you, and you can go through the developer or you can go through the unit test document, find out if any conditions are there in the application to test, and then you can do your testing. But that should be there only, and you should never understand user unit test document and work based on the unit testing document. Remember one point. Okay, because uh, uh, if you go through the unit test document and if you do testing, you will be caught. Your manager, project manager, he will understand how you have done the unit testing. Okay, how you have done your testing, he will understand. So never go through unit test document unless otherwise it is very critical and it is required. So that is one important point you need to note. Okay, now reports are ready. So entry criteria are ready. Now what the activities you do is you execute the test cases. You execute all the test cases what you have written in the designing section. You document all those things. And hey, as a tester, one more basic important point what you need to remember is you need to document each and everything. Each and everything need to be documented. One thing, documentation what you do is a purpose for attaching to the or test case that the test is passed or failed, or another thing is a proof for us. It should be a proof for us, because see, now you have given, for example, I'm saying there is a point where you have tested at the rate symbol. Okay, for example, in login functionality, initially developer has given access to use the username as password as at the rate symbol. Okay, so now I have given password as ttc password as ttc at the rate 1234, or at the ttc at the rate exclamatory mark 1234 I have given. So later in some stage you have done this testing also, you have taken screenshots and you have kept for yourself. Okay, because 100% all need not be attached to the test cases. So basically based on the test cases, uh, we have written and we agree. So after some time what happened is like in the course of application development, somewhere some new developer has came, he has by mistake removed this at the rate symbol. Okay, or he has removed this exclamatory mark. So when you try to log in like this TTC at the rate exclamation mark 1234, it is not logging. User is failing, saying error message. Then developer or in test manager, your manager will say that you did not do testing properly. You did not cover the exclamatory mark issue at the time of initial testings, and he will fire on you. He will scold. Okay, then you can show this document, sir. I have already tested it. See, you can see my results. The exclamatory mark results I have already there. You can see the date and time when I have tested this. I'm not sure why this has been done. You can check the logs in development area how they have missed it in that way. See, so always remember in a team, all hands, all fingers should be pointed to tester only. If any bug or issue will be raised, and if the project is success, happiness would be shared across the team, and if the project is failed, it will be blamed on tester only. So tester means that he need to be very very careful. He need to understand business very each and every line you need to read and understand the business requirement document. Okay, so documentation need to be done. He need to document all the test results, all the defects what he has logged, what type of testing he has completed, all that he said that defects, uh, defects what the developer has fixed. Okay, and regression testing. He will do regression. He will do the regression testing and any other testings which are required. He will track the. He will track the defects and if they are retested and working as expected, he will close the defects. Okay, these all activities should be done. So in this part, I'll show you one term. I'll explain, that is test suite. Okay, so at the time of test execution, we are in real time. Your manager, somebody will use the term test suite. Okay, test suite is a group of test cases which belong to same category. Same category in the sense, see, now this is the test plan. Okay, in test plan we do multiple testings. Multiple testings would be done here. Okay, so those all test suite 1, test suite 2, test suite 3, they are different. So different test cases. So test suite 1 is regression testing. Okay, test suite 2 is functional testing. Test suite 3 is end-to-end testing. Means all the test cases for a particular type of testing, for a particular group of test cases to a particular type is called as test suite. Under test plan, here you can see multiple this one. So we have different types: regression testing, functional testing, end-to-end testing, okay, smoke test, sanity test. So smoke test suite has been completed or not? Functional testing suite has been completed or not? He will ask your manager will be asking you, Mr. Mohan, did you complete regression suite? He will say, means regression suite means all the test cases related to regression testing group, all the group of test cases which are related to regression test are called as test suite. Okay, this term generally we use it in our day-to-day activities in testing. Okay, test suite. So now test execution, you need to cover all the test suites have been completed or not. Okay, so these activities once you are done, you will go to the test criteria. Exit criteria is like all tests are executed, means all test suites are executed, and defects logged and tracked have been closed. So defects, what are the defects? What is that one? How do we measure defects? So what is a defect actually?
Sir, can you go back to that test suite slide once?
Yes.
It belongs to something. Okay.
So see, test suite 1 is regression, test suite 2 is functional, test suite 3 is end to end. Okay. So for this regression, there are a group of test cases. Okay. In practical real time, we use regression suite, end to end suite. Regression suite,
Okay.
end to end suite. Okay.
Okay.
So what is a defect actually? So defect is a mismatched functionality in an application. So to the actual requirement and the deviation between the expected result and actual result is called as defect. So defect, bug, issue, all three are almost same. So during this test execution, we report the mismatch of the defects to developers through the templates or the tools. Different tools would be there. But on that, we'll upload and the report to the developers. So defect, bug means in real time. There are some other words we use like error, defect, bug, issue, failure. Okay. So what are this? So what is the difference between error, defect, bug, issue, and failure? Are all the same? Error or defect is same, error or bug is same? No. There is slight, very slight difference is there, especially very minute difference between defect and bug. So most of the time, in real time, defect and bug both are same. We don't do any differentiate in defect and bug, but there is a difference between error and defect, defect and failure. Okay. So error is a mistake which is being found by a developer at the time of developing. So in his program, when he is doing unit testing, he will find some issues. There would be a syntax error. There would be a programming error. He has missed something. Okay. So the mistakes which are found at the time of programming is called developer found the mistakes at the time of unit testing is called as error. Okay. So when these errors are found by a tester is called as defect. Okay. The errors which could not found by unit test in unit test, but the defects which those errors which we have found, a tester has found in testing is called as defect. Okay, we have found the defect. What we'll do? We will report the defect. Okay, we'll report the defect to the developer. So developer goes through the report defect and he says, yes, you are correct, Mohan. The defect what you have raised is correct one. So now the developer will agree to the defect what you have raised. Okay. So when the developer agrees to the defect what you have raised, it is called as a bug. Okay. When the developer agrees the defect and says he will fix it, it is called as bug. Okay. So bug issue is the same thing. Okay. Now bug is there, you found it. Okay, application is ready, developer has completed his unit testing, tester has completed his testing, everything, regression, end to end, everything, all test functional testings, everything completed. We have deployed the product in market. Now users are using. So while using the application, one app, Deepak has found an issue, like when you use a particular option like sign out, he found out that when you are clicking on a sign out tab, it is taking too long, or if it hit two times, the app is getting crash. Okay. So Deepak says that the application has failed.